Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to day 1024 of trying a new makeup product every day. Today I'm really excited to try out this beautiful eyeshadow palette that I got in my winter 2020 FabFitFun box. So if you haven't seen that unboxing and all of the awesome products I got in it, I'll have that video linked in the description down below. But I was so excited when I saw this. This is the Laura Geller Cinnamon and Spice eyeshadow palette. And check out these beautiful shades. I love these warm tones, and it's still pretty neutral, but you get a lot of shimmers and mattes. It's funny though, I was reading the description of this and it's all about flavors of fall, warm daytime looks, yummy nighttime looks, pair with your pumpkin spice latte, and it's like, what says fall more than these shades? Things like that. I'm like, well then this should have come in the fall FabFitFun box, right? But that's okay. Honestly, I think that these shades are year-round shades in my opinion. And I love the big mirror in it. Makes it great for travel. So first things first, I want to go ahead and swatch a few of the shades. So I'll swatch like a darker shimmery shade. Ooh, nice texture. I'll swatch a lighter shimmery shade. Ooh, this one seemed a little bit more dry. Very different textures. And then we've got some mattes. Swatch a light matte and a dark matte. Uh-oh, that light matte seemed very patchy. Ooh, dark matte seems nice. Here's the light shimmer, which seemed kind of dry and not super pigmented. Then I've got the darker shimmer here, ooh, which is beautiful, like a metallic. That's weird. So when I swatched them, it's like the lighter shades didn't seem that great, but the darker shades seem really nice. So now here are what those swatches look like. I know it's hard to see the lighter ones. And I think I forgot to mention that this eyeshadow palette retails for $45. So that's expensive to me. I'm expecting this to be really good. But so when I review eyeshadow palettes, I like to try it with and without an eyeshadow primer. So as per usual, I am taking the Zoeva Matte Eyeshadow Fix, and I just take a tiny little bit and I'm gonna apply that all over one of my eyelids. And I have a lot of creases in my eyelids, so this will help prevent creasing. Even though these are claiming to be crease-proof shadows, we'll be able to see how it is with and without the primer. Also, sometimes eyeshadows show up a lot more pigmented on a primer. So when I swatched this lightest shade here, this matte shade, it was not super pigmented, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this to set my eyelids. Okay, yeah, this is actually pretty close to my skin tone, which means this could work nicely for a kind of no eyeshadow type of look. Actually shows up a little bit orangey once I blend it on my lid. But it is kind of covering the discoloration, and just so we have a base down there so that the other shades can blend easier on top. This shade shows up more pigmented on the eye with the primer versus this is the eye without the primer, and I feel like it's just kind of disappearing. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brow highlight because I like to work from the brow down. So I'm taking the light pink shimmery shade, which definitely does feel dry. And it's kind of hard to pick up. Let's see when I apply it to my face. Yeah, super patchy. I'm gonna try wetting my finger and then trying to pick it up. All right, so that's a little bit better, which is a bummer because this would be a really pretty highlight shade. Oh, it is just super chunky. I like to apply kind of metallic shimmers with my finger because I feel like I get the most pigment payoff from that. But even with my finger, this is not really working great. I'm trying do a little bit to that inner corner highlight as well. This is weird. Usually the light shimmery shades are great formulas in palettes. So I'm a little thrown off by this. All right, but so now I'm gonna go into my crease transition shade, and I'm gonna take this light beige brown shade. And I'm blending this from the crease up onto the brow bone. This shade may be a little bit light, but that's okay. I'm gonna maybe try and make this more of like a pastel type of eyeshadow look. I feel like I do usually pretty colorful, bold, bright eyeshadow looks, but with this palette you can do a softer look. This blending up onto that highlight shade though is working really nicely to at least get that highlight into that perfect shape now. And now I'm gonna take the other matte brown shade and I'm going to blend that into the outer V and into the crease. And this will help add some more dimension to my eye shape. It'll lift the corner of my eye a bit when I add this into the outer V like that. These are blending really nicely. They look smooth. They're even to blend. This one has good pigment to it. And this shade is pretty much looking the same with and without the primer. So that's really good. Has good pigment on the eye even without the primer. Super easy to blend. And now let's try out a few of the other shimmer shades. So I'm gonna take, this one looks pretty. And I'm gonna apply that into the outer kind of third of the lid. Oh, that's pretty. This one's not super shimmery, but it kind of has some sheen to it. It doesn't show up super dark, but that's okay. I'm keeping in mind I'm trying to do a lighter look, a softer, warm tone look is what I'm going for. But might be a little too soft. I'm gonna go for the darker shimmery shade here and tap a little bit of that on top. And that's pretty. It's got some metallic sheen and a little texture to the look. I do really like how cohesive all these shades are and how they look so nice together no matter what shades you're using. Next, I'm going to take some of this brown shade, brown shimmery shade, and I'm seriously just putting so many different shimmery shades on the lid. Ooh, this is pretty, but it shows up lighter than it looks in the pan. It looks like a golden bronze shade on the lid, but in the pan here, it looks darker. But this is still a pretty shade. I think it will transition nicely into the lighter gold shade. So I'm gonna pick up the lighter gold next. I have to say, the rest of these shimmers seem to be applying nicely. They seem to have good full pigment, a smooth kind of buttery texture. It's seriously just this one light pink shimmer that seemed dry and was hard to apply, which is weird. Let me know in the comments down below if you experienced that with any of your shades, if you got this palette. I'm really glad that not all the shades were like that. The rest of these seem really nice and easy to use. Ooh, I'm loving all the colors though. On my lid, since they're so cohesive, it looks so pretty with kind of this like warm tone sunset kind of shimmery rainbow on my lids. I'm just gonna kind of blend it all together. But I actually really like that. That is so pretty. colorful, but still soft. Now for that lower lash line, I want to pull the whole look together. So why don't I try this shade here? This one is also a shimmer. That does look nice, but I might need to darken it a little bit. So why don't I pick up this shimmering shade as well? There we go. All right, well, here is my finished look, and I really do think that this is a fun and pretty palette. I'm not like over the moon in love with it, but in the end, most of the formulas performed really nicely and blended easily, showed up with good color. Let's see if these are actually crease proof. Yeah, I'm not seeing any creasing on either of my eyes. And I really tried to use a lot of shades for this look, but you could definitely do a even more toned down casual look. I feel like this is about as glam as I could kind of make from this palette, but it is pretty. It could work for glam. I feel like you could make it a little bit more daytime by just applying some mascara, or you can make it more glam by adding some lashes. So pretty versatile palette. Like I said before, I do think that this can work year round. I don't think it's just specific kind of fall shades. Let me know your thoughts on the palette in the comments down below if you have it as well. And thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.